He merely asked for a cappuccino. The barista acted like it was the end of the world. The police were going to shoot him. The cannon on the tank outside even aimed at him. The man instantly figured out that something was amiss. He rushed to switch the order to Americano. The barista finally relaxed, and the tank gently moved its cannon away. He was an NPC in a video game, so he couldn't even pick out his own coffee. In the online open-world game Free City, only players who paid and wore sunglasses could do whatever they pleased. They could casually fire rocket launchers back at the police when they surrounded them. But Guy, an NPC, did the same dull thing every day. He said hello to his goldfish every morning. He then put on his blue shirt and khaki trousers, which he always wore, and went to work at the bank. When players looted the bank, the NPC security guard calmly took off his belt, lay down on the floor, and talked about where to get beer after work. But one day after work, Guy observed a girl player singing Fantasy by Mariah Carey. As soon as they passed each other, time seemed to stop. He saw her walk away through explosions like they were nothing. He ran after her to talk to her. But as soon as he said hello, a train going too fast hit him. Fortunately, NPCs could come back to life over and over again. But something inside him had already altered. When burglars came again and broke the counter, the guy immediately thought that life was pointless. He noticed the girl again when he looked up. His friend at work told him to give up. People that wear sunglasses aren't for us, but that just made Guy more determined. He chose to grab the robber's shades. The person playing the robber was shocked. He tried to fight back. People thought that NPCs should accept their fate, but Guy wanted to be in charge of his own. He fought back. He pulled the trigger when he woke up. The guy hurried out of the bank and didn't look back. He saw a whole new universe when he put on the sunglasses. There were neon icons all over the place. He picked up a health pack and his wounds healed right away. Guy felt really alive for the first time. A player fell from the skies and dropped a bunch of coins. Guy was happy to have them. It was worth around a month's pay. He brought a pair of limited edition trainers with the money. But the gaming company saw something was awry. As he was getting ready to hunt for the female, Keys, a programmer, thought a hacker had gotten in. So he and his coworker Mouser played the game with their favorite skins to deal with Guy. Keys turned into a mad officer. Mouser turned into a huge pink bunny. Good skin, thanks. Guy knew it wasn't a joke when they started shooting. He dodged under the gunfire and thought about his new shoes. He pushed them and jumped into the air. Too high up, too high. The programmers modified the buildings like they were gods, attempting to catch him. Guy rushed across a bridge that was dangling. He jumped again. Nope, he fell and barely lived by using a bubble shield, but they soon caught up to him. Keys and Mouser killed Guy's character because they thought they had stopped the hacker. But the truth is that Guy just respawned because he was an NPC. In real life, the programmer Keys was also living as a non-player character. Mouser asked him why a smart person who went to MIT and produced indie games was now dealing with customer problems. Keys groaned and stated the story was long and sad. To put it simply, he had to pay back his education loans. Keys and his undergraduate friend Millie made a game called Life Itself right after they graduated. Millie thought that Antoine, the head of Tsunami, had taken their original code and used it to make Free City. That was why she was playing the game every day, to look for proof of the theft. Antoine was in charge of Keys at Tsunami. Millie was quite angry. She asked him why he had joined the same unethical organization and begged him to help her sneak into the game to get the proof back. Keys valued their friendship, but he had to say no since he needed a steady job to live. Millie had to go into the game by herself. Guy suddenly showed up behind her. "What are we looking at?" He told her he had been looking for her, but their chat drew the attention of enemy guards. Millie changed weapons and shot at the enemies above more than once. The infiltration had not worked. She opened a door and ran away. Guy mirrored everything she did and followed her carefully, seeming surprised at all he saw. He asked her to work together with him. Millie tapped her glasses. Her level was above her head at level 100 plus. Guy, level 1, floated above him. Millie advised him to come back after he got to level 100, but he had to steal and hurt NPCs to level up. He couldn't do it because he was a good guy, so he came up with a great idea. He began to do good things in the game. He stopped mean people from picking on new gamers. He kept the NPCs' things safe. He saved people instead of hurting them. His quickness in leveling up broke all the records. He got a lot of fans. His kindness was even reported on. He became a hero in Free City. Millie got in touch with Keys again. As soon as she uncovered the proof, red sirens went out all over the place. Guards with guns surrounded her. Guy rode in on a motorbike just at the right time. He glided across the floor, took out the guards in style, flinged off his helmet, and made a big entry. More foes fell from above, but Millie took them down with ease. The guy who was supposed to save her just stood there and stared at her in awe. He just came to his senses and fought back when an attacker swung at him. He got on his Ducati, and Millie smoothly flipped over onto the seat behind him. They broke through a window together, fighting and getting away in perfect sync. The mood changed all of a sudden. "I don't think this thing can fly." They took a glider and flew away to safety. After that, Guy made Millie even more impressed. He took her out and bought her his favorite bubblegum-flavored ice cream. Millie felt like she knew the strange taste because it was the same. They talked about their childhoods and dreams while swinging on the swings in the park, and then they kissed. Key's heart ached when he witnessed how close they had grown. He checked the system to find out who Guy was and found something surprising. Guy was made from the code that he had developed years before. Key's own personality and tastes shaped all of Guy's maturing traits. He hurried to tell Millie. He told her that the one she loved was just a bit of code. At first, Millie didn't believe it, but then she remembered that the game didn't even let you kiss. Reality set in for her, and Keys brought even terrible news. Tsunami was almost ready to release Free City 2. All of the old data would be deleted when the new version went live. They barely had 48 hours left to take the proof. Millie found Guy and escorted him to a hidden pub. Every day, the non-player characters on the screen did the same things. Millie told him the truth. Guy was just a character in a game, and this universe was just a game. Guy didn't want to believe it, but then he saw himself on the screen. He thought everything was important. His love and dreams had been implanted. He left in a daze and didn't answer Millie's calls. He had always known that something was wrong in his life. He thought Millie filled that gap. But suddenly there was gunshots behind him, and he didn't feel anything. He moved forward like a phantom. He ran to the ocean to see if the world was genuine. He found the edge of the map when he reached out. The sorrow he felt was real, even though his environment was phony. Guy went to Buddy to feel better. He said, "This isn't real. We are all code." Buddy didn't understand it all, but he murmured softly, "Maybe we're not real people, Buddy, but I'm here with you right now, and this moment seems real to me." Guy was touched. He made the decision to help Millie steal the proof. They thought there would be a massive fight, but the security guy was Guy's biggest admirer. He was a streamer in real life. He yelled with joy when he spotted Guy. He didn't just not stop them, he actually gave them the secret video file himself. He even asked Guy, "Please shoot me in the head before you leave." But Guy, who was a good person, said no. He immediately gave Millie the proof. It came through for her and just in time to help. But all of a sudden, the proof was gone. It was as if Millie had been turned to stone. The whole world appeared to stop. Everyone stayed still and didn't move. Then, with a flickering pixelation, all of the players disappeared at once. After Guy became renowned, he got a huge following online. They treated him like a celebrity and campaigned against the Free City update. Antoine, the CEO, was so desperate that he was ready to do everything to hide the truth. He told Mouser to restart the servers. Players became angry immediately. Millie was shocked and heartbroken.
She logged into her character as soon as the reboot was done, but the new guy didn't remember her at all. Keys called her at that time. He said that rebooting the server didn't change Guy's basic programming. Guy just needed the appropriate emotional push to wake up again. When Keys made Guy, he made Millie Guy's dream girl in the code. As soon as they met again, Guy's self-awareness started to grow anew. The individual who should have felt empty suddenly felt full of life again. Millie understood exactly what she had to do. She ran into the bank and pulled Guy outside. She kissed him deeply and from the heart in a quiet alley. All of his lost memories came back at once. Colorful pictures sprang up all around them. Guy remembered Millie and where the world was modeled for the first time. It had always been disguised in his flat as a reflection. Antoine merely duplicated the surface of the game when he took it. He failed to remove the mirrored world underneath. But the original world was on the other side of the ocean, and players couldn't cross the sea in the game. Millie felt trapped, but Guy suddenly had a brave thought. He got all the NPCs together by using his fame. Every NPC had their own dreams, but they had never been able to follow them. They could only break free from the system's grip by making their first true choice. Everyone came together as one because of Guy. When gamers logged back into the game the next day, they saw that the bank was empty. There were no people or noise on the streets. All of the non-player characters had inexplicably vanished. The guys were surprised and didn't know what to do. Antoine too knew that the crisis was approaching. He told Mouser to get rid of Guy and Millie from the game completely, but none of the NPCs did what he said. Instead, they were all having a good time inside the coffee shop. Antoine was quite angry. He ordered everything to be destroyed right now. Buildings started to fall down. The ground broke up. The whole world was getting closer to them, preparing to smash them into nothing. Keys thankfully jumped in to help. He made a way out of nothing. Guy almost made it and finally got to the shore. But in the real world, Antoine had already caught Keys. Antoine gave Keys one last chance to pick a side, but Keys didn't hesitate to do so. The fragmented pieces of debris came together to make a huge dragon that built a huge bridge across the ocean. Antoine, who was at his wits' end, deleted all of the player accounts. Millie disappeared right away. Guy had to keep going on his own. Keys covertly started a global live broadcast just as Antoine sacked him from the company. Everyone was sitting in front of their televisions waiting for Guy to change the game. Antoine let out a stronger version of Guy to stop him. Dude was his name. Dude got into the game and right away started a savage onslaught. Buddy got there just in time to help, but Dude was so strong that he was almost impossible to break. Guy opened his power-up menu in a fit of rage. He called on Captain America's shield to stop one of Dude's huge blows. What the heck? Then he let the Hulk's huge fist go, hitting Dude across the map. Then he turned on a Jedi lightsaber. Everyone on the internet went nuts. But even with these famous weapons, Dude was still too strong to beat. In a moment of brilliance, Guy took off his sunglasses and put them on Dude's face. Dude stopped attacking right away. He was so fascinated by this new universe that he forgot to fight. But Antoine lost all control. He broke the servers with his own hands. The universe of the game started to fall apart. The catastrophe made it impossible for Buddy and Guy to be together. Being here with you, fighting side by side, this day was the best day of my life, Buddy stated with a peaceful smile. And then Buddy turned into pixels and gone. Guy raced even faster as the world fell apart behind him, trying not to cry. He jumped one last time and flew across the falling terrain. He made it to the other side in front of millions of people. The island made out of love and inventiveness showed that Antoine had taken the code. The police took him into custody. The new game, Free Life, was made. Millie went back to look for Guy. Guy finally got what it meant to be alive. Keys penned a love note in code for Millie. He told her this in a soft way, suggesting that someone in the real world had always loved her. Millie figured it out. She quit the game and fled to Keys in real life. They looked into each other's eyes and finally told each other how they felt. They hugged one another tightly and kissed each other deeply. Guy and Buddy, who had just come back to life, met again in Free Life.